Welcome to my unboxing and first look at the tablet that the entire internets are excited about. This is the Nexus 7 from Google and ASUS. It's a joint project. You can see the branding is sort of clever. There's a picture of a tablet, which also happens to be sort of in the shape of a 7, which corresponds to the diagonal size of the screen. It is a 7-inch tablet, includes a Tegra 3 processor running at 1.3 gigahertz. Remember, that's 4 high-power cores plus 1 low-power core for that particular processor and a powerful GPU. It comes in 8 gig or 16 gig models, and there's a few things here that we should probably talk about really quick. So it's completely ready for Jellybean, which is Android 4.1, which includes a lot of UI tweaks as well as a few other cool things. So Nexus 7 runs the latest version of Android and comes with all the Google apps you love. Check Gmail, browse and the web with Chrome. So the browser that we found on previous editions of Android is going to be gone, and with it Flash support. So we're going to be using Chrome on our tablets from now on. Watch videos from YouTube and chat face to face. So it has a front-facing camera only, no rear-facing camera. It is a 1.2 megapixel camera, and honestly, at the price points that these tablets are coming in at, some sacrifices did have to be made. So it's $199 for an 8 gig and about $249. Remember, these are USD prices, so your mileage may vary. $249 for a 16 gig. There are no higher capacity versions available at this time, and that is the only difference between the two capacities, is just the capacity. So Google Play is their, well, what they've updated the market branding to, so there's a lot of different stuff in there now, including songs, books, movies, and as well as apps and games. Full-fledged Android tablet, powerful quad-core processor, front-facing favorite 7-inch HD display. So that's an IPS. That is an IPS display, which means you're going to get a very decent viewing angle. And what's cool about it is the fact that it is full HD. So it is 1280 by 800, which means you can watch 720p video in full screen, and it will be full resolution on this particular tablet. And the other really cool thing about that is because of the fact that it is in a 7-inch form factor, it has extremely high pixel density, which, you know, if you have used a Retina display from Apple, you're going to be familiar with already, is much less fatiguing on the eyes and makes text look just infinitely better. I've taken it out already prior to the unboxing, and I've played around with it a little bit, and I'm very, very impressed. Love the screen, love the responsiveness, love the accuracy. So it's got a 10-point multi-touch, which is about as much as any sort of normal person would need. Not that I'm saying that if you have 6 fingers on each hand that's a problem. It's just that you know, you might want to use only 10 of them at a given time when you're working on a tablet. You know what? Moving right along, let's have a look at the physicality of the unit. So there's a USB port here, and what's cool about this is it supports USB on the go, which means that it can not only act as in device mode, but also in host mode. So if you were to plug a keyboard, for example, into it, then you can use that. Okay, it will act as the tablet will act as a host instead of the other way around. So you can actually pair it with the keyboard and use a keyboard on the device, which is very, very cool. There's your headphone jack, which is pretty standard. Moving right along, not a whole lot, not a whole lot. There's a light sensor on it somewhere. Ah, there it is, as well as the front-facing camera. There's your power, there's your volume rocker. The back is very nice. I'm actually not a big fan of metal backs on tablets because they tend to get grimy looking. They tend to get stained very easily. They're heavier, they're cold, or they're too hot. They're just not that comfortable. So this is a rubberized backing, which has a bit of a grippy texture to it that's very, very nice. Now, I loved the BlackBerry Playbook for a couple of reasons. It was super snappy, great as a little web browsing device, and I thought the form factor was just perfect. So as you guys can probably imagine, the Nexus 7 definitely floats my boat in much the same way. I just want to have a quick look at what's included. So you got your warranty card as well as a quick start guide. Charging cable, as well as a charger. So not a huge accessory package by any stretch of the imagination. So let's get logged in here and let's have a look at some of the differences. This is one of my favorite tablet benchmarks for a couple of reasons, because it just seems to absolutely destroy every tablet and other mobile device that I have ever had the pleasure of encountering. So here I've got my other 2 favorite tablets. The iPad 2. I don't have an iPad 3, unfortunately. I wish I could talk about that one a little bit. And then I've also got a Galaxy Tab 10.1, so this is running the older Honeycomb version of Android. So give me 2 seconds and I'm going to get this page loaded up. So the screen doesn't have quite the vibrance that, oh, sorry, this one actually has flash on it, so the video's even trying to play. It doesn't have quite the vibrance of the Galaxy Tab 10.1, and not quite the brightness of the iPad 2, but it's very, very passable, and it's a smaller screen anyway, so actually that doesn't really make a difference at all. Okay, this is something that just absolutely tanks the performance of every mobile browser that I've had the displeasure of using. Trying to view YouTube comments, which as you guys can imagine is something that I do try to do on a tablet. So I want you guys to just have a quick look at what the fluidity is like. So yes, the UI on the Nexus 7 is absolutely gorgeous and amazing and so smooth. And it looks like it decided to do this a slightly different way for me here. Give me a sec, guys. Oops. So this is cool. They have with the Chrome and YouTube app integration that they've done here, this is absolutely awesome. So instead of clicking on this and having it open in Chrome, it actually opens in the YouTube app, which is so much smoother compared to trying to navigate in Chrome for things like reading comments and seeing related videos and seeing the information. All you do is rotate it and it goes ahead and puts it in, I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. There we go. Goes ahead and puts it in video viewing mode for you. Rotation's pretty smooth. However, for the sake of showing you guys what I think of the performance here, this is cool too. When you're clicking on something small, it's really neat. It pops it up for you so you can make sure you click the right thing. So we're going to go ahead and view the comments of that video in much the same way that we're looking at them on the other tablets. So I'll show you guys how this tanks the performance of pretty much every tablet ever, and I can't quite figure out why, but the Nexus 7 does better than, so the iPad, in spite of its normal smoothness, you can see lags quite a bit behind when I'm trying to browse comments and just has sort of glitches in the loading. Same thing with older Android tablets. You can see it's very, very glitchy trying to browse this for whatever reason. It doesn't help when there are tons of comments on the video, and this particular one has a few thousand comments. So you can see it's actually not as bad as I've come to expect from Android tablets. It's closer to the experience you have with the iPad 2. But with some of the UI tweaks that they've made, I would never have to use this kind of an interface for it anyway, which is very, very refreshing. Tegra games run obviously better on the Nexus 7. You can see the older Tegra 2 is chopping up a little bit just watching this spaceship hover around in Demolition Inc. Whereas here, I'm just going to brace myself so you can see the smoothness compared to the Galaxy Tab 10.1. Well, you'll have to take my word for it because apparently you can't see that at all. And the lighting in here is absolutely terrible. But whatever. Okay, so we're going to do that. Play, play. The graphics also look better just due to the higher pixel density, so you can see lots of aliasing and garbage on this one, whereas here the line looks a lot smoother. It's not because it's running at higher res, it's just the higher pixel density. That's all. Yeah, it looks so much sharper and runs way smoother. You can see it start to chug as it tries to zoom in on the city here. That is absolutely outstanding. I mean, none of this should really come as a surprise given that it is a Tegra 3 processor and that is better than a Tegra 2. But just the fluidity is very, very nice. There's a few other tweaks that I really, really like already about the Nexus 7. So one of them is the quick access to settings, as well as the quick access here to your rotation lock. Little things like that make me really happy. Touchscreen is very, very accurate, and moving around within I mean, it's just so lightning fast and smooth that it's just makes everything else look like a joke that we've seen in the past. Let's just go back. Let's go back to home. Let's load up the NVIDIA Global demo, because who doesn't love the Global demo? I haven't actually seen it in person before, because this is the first time I've had access to a Tegra 3 tablet. Cool. I don't know how to use it or anything. Oh, you tilt it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Whee! Global! Okay, this is sort of less fun than I thought it was going to be. Boom! You knock things over with physics! Okay, sorry, I'm done now. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't know how much else there is for me to say about it other than so far I'm really impressed. It basically is everything that it sounds like it is. It's a Tegra 3 tablet, at a $199 price point for the 8 gig version. You don't get any SD expansion, so that's maybe one thing that some people don't like about it. Oh yeah, there's a speaker on the back right under the ASUS logo, that bar right there. So yeah, it's a $199 Tegra 3 tablet that has a very nice screen, good form factor, great build quality, and I'm overall very impressed. And is my camera really not focusing like this entire time? Oh, it's just the contrast. Okay, well, the screen looks a lot better than it does in my pathetic camera, so I'm sorry for that. But thank you for checking out my unboxing and first look at the Nexus 7. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my NCIX.com channel as well, or to the NCIX.com channel as well, where I'll be doing a full proper rundown of this new tablet and the new OS that goes with it.